MTV World Stage представляет.
Now no one will give the exact date of the creation of the group. In the early 1990s, two good friends, Marcus Purell and Vav Bernardo, met for their first rehearsal. At first, their duet was called Skaters. They existed without a main vocalist for about 2 years. Vav had a cousin, Paul, and his mother died of leukemia in 1992. Prior to that, Sonny, as his friends called him, at the age of 13, joined a gang in the Chicano neighborhood of San Diego, drank alcohol and smoked marijuana. However, the death of his 37-year-old mother, who was a true Christian, greatly influenced Sonny, and converted the now 18-year-old boy into this religion. After the incident, he decided to preach Christian principles through performances in a musical group. He joined his cousin and, along with temporary guitarists Gabe Portillo and Marcus, began performing in the band Enoch, which, with the arrival of Sonny, was soon renamed the now familiar POD, acronym for Payable on Death. Their style of music began to take on a distinct sound with a mixture of reggae, rock and rap. Draw Daniels joined the group in 1994, displacing Gabe, whose presence in the group can now only be heard on demos of his early years. POD signed with the then-unknown Rescue Records and released 3 albums between 1994 and 1997, Snuff the Punk, Brown and Payable on Death Live. The latest album is a DVD of the band's concert, recorded during their 1997 Confest performance. It was the band's third and final album to be recorded on Rescue Records. Later in 2001, the label reissued this recording in a more complete version. Shortly after the release of Payable on Death Live, Essential Records offered the POD guys a $1 deal. But Sonny asked the band's manager Tim Cook to contact Essential Records and tactfully turned down the offer, explaining that God has a bigger future in store for POD. In 1998, John Rebelli of Atlantic Records noticed the band performing at the Roxy in Sunset Strip. He offered the guys a contract. The band took the most important and most successful step by signing it. POD soon released The Warriors, a dedicated album dedicated to their loyal fans and fan club leader Jordan Peter Douglas Orana. It was a kind of transit disc, taking the group from the era of cooperation with Rescue Records to Atlantic Records. Only copies of the disc were published, so it is considered a collector's item, and difficult to obtain for buyers. The record contains Sonny's appeal to his fans. Thanks to the Warriors, this is how the clan of fans of the group is called, who have followed their work and supported them all these years. The tracklist includes songs such as Southtown, Breathe Babylon, Rosalinda, Jolly Line, Full Collar, and Sabbath. Although the album itself was produced by the folks at Atlantic Records, it was mixed at Tooth.
The first studio album, recorded in 1999, was titled The Fundamental Elements of Southtown. It contained the hits Southtown as well as Rock the Party, for which a video was filmed. Rock the Party
was ranked for one of America's most prestigious music video shows. At the same time, the single, School of Hard Knocks, appears on the soundtrack for the film Little Nicky, starring Adam Sandler. All of these songs were heavily rotated on radio stations and MTV, so they quickly became hits. The album goes platinum. In 2001, the same day and year that the terrorist attack in America took place and the Twin Towers were destroyed, namely September 11, POD released one of the best, if not the best album of all time, Satellite. The first single from the album, Alive, became the most watched video of the year on MTV and MTV. This popularity, as well as the positive message contained in the song, instantly made the single a radio hit. The song, Alive, is considered to be exactly the breakthrough in creativity, which makes the group truly unshakable in the history of music. Since the single was released at a time when the topic of terrorist attacks and the unjust murders of innocent inhabitants was especially relevant for the whole world, it became like a hymn to life, helping people to go through difficult times. Guitarist Marcus said about this song in one of his interviews, "There are so many troubles in the world, and misfortunes happen in almost everyone's life. And if our song inspires the listener and helps him cope with problems, overcome his negative thoughts, then we have fulfilled our duty as artists. We just sing about what is really important for people to hear." The second single from the album, Youth of the Nation, was inspired by the POD guys by thinking about Massachusetts gun violence in American schools such as Santana High School, Columbine High School, and Granite Hills High School. The 2002 songs, Boom and Satellite, also became very popular. To top it all off, the album's final track, Portrait, won numerous awards and was nominated for a Grammy for Best Metal Performance in 2003. This time the album, Satellite, has already gone 3 times platinum. On February 19, 2003, guitarist Marcus Puri left the band to pursue his project, The Accident Experiment. According to the former guitarist of the band, Payable on Death, he was actually kicked out of the band, although officially the reason was voiced as disagreements in the group on creative grounds. Anyway, Puri remained on guitar in his new project. Pete Stewart was recruited as vocalist. Tony Dellek became bassist, Ernie Longoria became drummer, both from Sprung Monkey. The first album of the project, The Accident Experiment, was independently released in 2003 and was called Arena. In 2005, the band signed to Rock Ridge Music, and their first full-length album, United We Fear, was released on May 9, 2006. The first single, Sick Love Letter, even had a video clip. Sonny, Vav and Tro decided not to disband the band, but to hire a new guitarist. Marcus was replaced by Jason Truby of the Christian metal band Living Sacrifice. For the first time he recorded with the guys the soundtrack for the movie, The Matrix Reloaded, called Sleeping Away. In an interview, Sonny said that Jason is the main reason that the group did not disband, and that is why they are still together. On November 4, 2003, Pod released their 4th studio album of the same name, Payable on Death. It differs in the darkest way. In it you can clearly hear the pressure on hard rock sound and melody. Following the success of singles such as Will You and Change the World, the record sold copies and was awarded gold status. The album, Testify, was scheduled for release in December 2005, but did not release until January 24 of the following year. On the other hand, in November 2005, Pod released The Warriors, Volume 2, which included several demos from the upcoming album, so that fans of the group could at least get an idea of what awaits them on Testify. It was Testify that became the last album with new guitarist Jason Truby, who left the band in December 2006. The album was released as an additional exclusive edition, Testify, limited edition, with bonus, the band's comments on each song on the album, 4 songs and a remix. The video for the first single from the January album, Goodbye for Now, took first place on MTV's Trail show and became the 4th video clip to rank on Trail in the band's history. Testify has sold copies worldwide. In the album, you can see a predominant bias towards hip-hop and reggae, which was brought by Matisse Yahu, who participated in the recording of the album. In support of the new album, the guys embarked on the Warriors Tour 2, Guilty by Association, which began in April. Pod has performed with bands such as Pillar, The Chariot, Maylene and the Sons of Disaster. In September 2006, the band announced that they, with the help of Rhino Records, were releasing the Greatest Hits, the Atlantic Years album, which was released on November 21, 2006. They shot a video for the single, Going In Blind, one of 2 included in their 10th album in a row. They began meeting with various record companies to begin recording fresh material, which they hoped to release by mid-2007. On the MySpace page, it was officially confirmed by the group's manager that Travi had left the group. Pod claimed that on the very day Jason made the decision to leave the band, Marcus himself offered to return and replace the original, classic, lineup. Naturally, according to the group itself, this did not happen without the intervention of higher powers. For the first time since the reunion, Marcus and the band performed at the 2006 New Year's party on the hit show, Jimmy Kimmel Live! On February 2, 2007, the band signed to Rhino Records, an American record company in Nashville, Tennessee. The label specializes in contemporary Christian music. Bands such as Flyleaf, Skillet, and Mersheim have recorded on it. The label is sometimes referred to as one of the affiliates of Sony Records and may be referred to as Epic Records or Columbia Records. In June 2007 at Rockbox, San Diego, the band performed a new song, Condescending and Addicted. They also revealed to fans for the first time the title of the forthcoming album, When Angels Serpents Dance. In early August 2007, the guys took part in the annual Christian Harvest Crusade at Anaheim Stadium. There they presented their new song, I'll Be Ready, originally titled, When Babylon Come For I, in front of spectators. This was the record for the attendance of the festival for all 3 days of its holding. April 8, 2008 saw the light of the new creation of the group, the disc, When Angels Serpents Dance. This is the 7th studio album that Marcus reappears on. Also contributing to the CD are Mike Muir of Suicidal Tendencies, guitarist Paige Hamilton of Helmet, Church Choir, and the Marley Sisters. The album sold over copies in its first week. A total of copies have been sold worldwide. Unfortunately, compared to previous sales, this album did not bring much commercial success. But despite this, the most valuable thing, the guys from Pod have already won an army of loyal fans around the world. On December 1, a statement was posted on the band's MySpace page that a secret site is coming soon, which will contain some information about the upcoming release of When Angels Circumstance. An excerpt from the song's lyrics was also posted on MySpace: "One must lead in the dance. Who's leading you? Life is real when angels and serpents dance." In the early morning of December 10, 2007, the official website of the Payable group was announced. Before that, only a photograph of the band with Marcus and some music files from previous years were presented there. Through the mailing list, the group informed scores of people that the opening of the site was associated with the new year 2008. On January 1, the site was opened, and offered visitors to get acquainted with a 30-second preview video for the song, When Angels Circumstance. On January 25, 2008, the full version of the title track became available for download to a wide audience. On April 2, the album hit the internet, and spread a little earlier, 6 days before the official release. The history of the spiritual development of the group is an example for each of us, how important it is to be patient and persistent in achieving the goal, staying true to yourself and your attitude. Religion, or faith, whatever you like, has always been the main key to understanding the band's creativity. However, it would not be correct to view it as just one of the mainstream team's popular and successful commercial projects. The very existence of Payable on Death and its success tell us what an unshakable place in the history of modern rock this group has received.